This is where the fun begins. This is where the fun begins. This is where the fun, this is where the fun, this is where the fun begins.
Who's the big guy with the muscles?
This is where the fun begins.
Who's the big guy with the muscles?
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Toy Anxiety. Toy Anxiety Live on a Friday. What is this all about? I'll tell you what it's all about.
It's the epilogue, the DNC.
It's not that.
No?
It's not.
No politics? Oh, all
No
right.
politics, only toys. Hi, Ryan. How are you?
I'm doing great.
That's
It's
awesome.
Friday.
How's the rest of your work week?
It was busy, but no,
Yeah.
it's a good busy. I like being busy. I thrive in the chaos.
You do. Me too. I appreciate you joining me tonight. We are super excited to give some dedicated time, a little Toy Anxiety deep dive. And I want to do more of these. There's so many incredible things happening in the toy industry, from the big guys as well as the independents. These guys have been making the rounds the last couple weeks, and we're finally on the tour stop. Getting near the end. We're going to be talking about Brutal Realm, the brand new figure line, the Kickstarter. Ryan, did you see it funded literally today? Did you see that?
Yeah, I think it's because of us.
Sure, we'll start taking credit.
100%. Yeah, 100%.
It's 100% because of us. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring our guests on right now. Tonight is all about breaking down Brutal Realm, what it is, what it could be, the figure offering, the Kickstarter, everything. I'm super excited. I love these kinds of projects. And the odds of me being fully in by the end of this conversation are, you guys know me, 100%. 100%. But I know these guys did Geek Dad Life. I think they were talked to Mad Hatter. So we're in. This is the toy community. We're building bridges.
That's right. Yeah, that's what we're doing.
Okay.
We're tearing down walls and what is it? No, what is it? Tearing down? I don't know.
Breaking hearts. All right. So without further ado, I'll bring on our guests. We're going to pop them in right now. James is here. Vonner is here.
Hey.
Thank you guys so much for being here. I'm going to let you guys do formal introductions for yourselves. I know this is your first time on the show. Normally we do a Tuesday night show. Tonight we got a little bit of a Friday night hang, completely dedicated to this project, and I can't wait to learn more about it. James, we're local. We're in Atlanta together, which is great. More things in Atlanta, it would be better, right?
Absolutely.
More businesses, more toys.
Atlanta.
It is very hot. It's been nice the last couple of days.
It has.
Yeah.
It's nice, cool at night right now.
James,
Yes, sir.
let the people here hanging out in the chat know who you are and why you're here.
I'm James Harkness, like darkness, but with an H.
Cool.
I am a toy collector, toy customizer, toy lover, and my friend and I, Jason Soul, who unfortunately isn't with us tonight, but we're very happy, all celebrating. We both came up with the idea to create a toy line based on our love for barbarians and articulation and accessories and swappability and customization and just an overall love. And we came up with Brutal Realm. And for the larger part, we came up with Realm Toys, and Brutal Realm is our first offering. And we're very excited that we got back today. Thanks to
Beautiful. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks to being on, saying that we're going to be on Toy Anxiety. People are like, "Oh shit, we got to back this right now." And they're both from Atlanta. That's what's happening.
That's exactly what happened.
Absolutely.
Well, James, and then Vonner, you're here with us as well. We started a little conversation beforehand. If you guys don't know, literal toy legend. We don't have a lot of legends that join us on the show, besides our very own Ryan Dole, who's legendary in his own right. But yeah, go ahead and introduce yourself and your background and let the people know why it's actually really amazing that you're here with us tonight.
Yep. I'm David Vonner. I've been developing toys now for about 30 years now. I'll be 52 this year. I look young, but I'll be 52. And I made my rounds in the toy industry. You know, I've worked for Hasbro and Mattel, or for Hasbro, I created the Marvel Universe line. I was at Toy Biz when we first created the Marvel Legends line alongside Jesse Falcon and Damon Nee and a cast of others. I'm actually War Machine. That's my likeness on there. Part of the Galactus Build-A-Figure program. And I've been doing this for years and loving this for years. And now what I'm doing is helping independent creators bring their ideas into fruition. So, Brutal Realm came onto my radar very early when they first started to showcase it as an idea. And immediately I fell in love with, what they have, being a big Masters of the Universe fan and also being a frustrated Master Universe fan, and so when I saw their work, I was like, hey man, like I would love to be a part of your team and bring my use my expertise to help bring you guys to the next level. And it's been so far, it's been very, very fun. We meet every week. These guys put in a lot of sweat equity into this line, and it really, really shows. And and also too, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but we also appeared in Toy Collector magazine, big write up in there. Yep. I'm also a contributor to Toy Collector magazine.
There it is, right there.
I'm holding it.
Hey, there you go.
We love Blake. Blake is Blake's the man. So
Blake is my brother, man, and I mean we're all family in this community. This is our tribe, and it's a dream come true to be able to write for a toy magazine. I love Toy Fair and Wizard magazine back in the day, and this is like our new generation's Toy Fair magazine, you know, and to be able to blend all of that and meet new friends, new family, through this work and with this line, it's been a pleasure. So, hey, man, we're here to bring Brutal Realm, and it's doing blockbuster numbers so far.
So,
man.
First of all, every day I'm inspired by people in the community. All these independent toy makers are doing amazing stuff. We were out at Comic-Con this year. We did a panel with Mad Hatter and Geek Dad Jay, and whether people are creating toys or creating content, like look what Z Mulaney in the chat just put. God, I love toy collecting. Like we haven't even started yet. It's just like this infectious thing. And I'm super excited about you guys being here. We do have one super chat I wanted to highlight already, which is pretty cool, from Video Power Gaming. Thank you so much. It says, I just finished watching the Mad Hatter stream from this morning. I'm about to buy all of these figs now.
Let's go. Let's get brutal.
Do it.
Awesome. Nice. Thank you. Mad Hatter and Jonathan did a great job. Every stream we've been on has been just a pleasure to talk with people in the community and keep blabbing about these characters that I came up with Jason and even Vonner. So it's been a real pleasure.
Yep, absolutely. Guys, we'll highlight the super chats as we go. We appreciate you guys being here. Another one. Congratulations on a great campaign. And what I love
that's another Atlanta native right there. Dark
okay, cool. I gotta start meeting. Nice. I gotta start meeting my local.
You should do like Anxiety Con. But you might, but don't tell that. You're gonna get.
Oh, don't tease me with a good time, baby.
I'll show up. We'll be there. I mean, we'll be there. We're gonna be there. I love doing this. This is a kind of a different format. Our normal Tuesday night show is obviously we get deep on toys, but it's a little bit like a morning radio show. Like I kind of want to do these deeper dives once a week or once, every other week, where we can just focus in and really kind of get, really nerdy and really kind of in the weeds with this stuff. And Vonner, with your history, Marvel Legends, I mean, if you haven't seen our show before, Mr. Ryan Dole is a diehard Marvel Legends old school collector.
I think you just Marvel collector in general. Like it started with the first wave of X-Men, and with Nightcrawler and Storm and that weird Colossus with the blue hair, and it never ended. Like I never stopped. I never stopped. I just kept going. And now they wouldn't. Yeah, right.
You ever get the yellow Daredevil from the Spider-Man Classics line?
It's like that. So
that was like the first variant. That was like our first variant.
the Spider-Man Classics line was like a complete game changer for me.
Game changer. That was it right there. That
It
was
was.
People
'Cause,
talk
like,
about Todd McFarlane, but for me, it was Spider-Man Classics.
McFarlane changed things, but in a different way. Like,
Yeah.
I think he elevated what we expect in sculpting. But we all knew even then that it like the articulation wasn't there.
I think
And
he
then
was
somehow
the bridge.
yeah.
I think he was the bridge from childhood to adulthood because he filled that those teenage years where you could be a collector and still be cool.
Right. I absolutely agree with that.
Definitely.
And then as soon as Marvel Legends or even like Spider-Man Classics had like especially like the Rhino figure, like that's another one that sticks in my head too.
The Scorpion, because the Scorpion was mine that had the projectile tail and all that.
Dude,
that's a great figure.
But those ones had great sculpting and the articulation, and that's like, and we always like geeked out about like even the Toy Biz, like we're talking like the Marvel superheroes line now from the early 90s,
right?
And like. And that one had like the ultimate like articulated figures with the wrists and the ankles and everything. And we all like went bonkers for that. But then all of a sudden again, it was like now we get that McFarlane style sculpting, that level with that level articulation. It was a total game changer. And then once Legends started.
What's cool about this is that, you know, and everything I do, but particularly about this is like we're kind of bringing that same flavor, you know, and more than just like sculpt and everything else. I mean, these guys have really stepped it up, but also too, like Jesse Falcon is the voiceover for the Brutal Realm video, you know, and that's him, and that's like, you know, passing that baton, you know what I mean, like giving that stamp of approval by having Jesse, you know, narrate that video. And you know, this is you know the next wave, you know, and these guys are really doing it. And I'm so proud to be able to guide them, you know, and take them to the next level.
Absolutely. So kind of bridging that gap from the 90s to the 2000s and to now the 2020s. It's no secret that there's a lot of independent toy companies right now that have grown into like they're, you know, you can call them independent, but there's major forces in the toy collecting industry.
Right.
So let's reel it back a little bit. Here's the tail of the tape. Brutal Realm, highly articulated action figures. Like you guys said, I don't want to speak for you, but like to me, is somebody who was deep in Motu classics and who likes the new Eternia stuff that Mattel's doing. I love this kind of line because you guys aren't handcuffed by any kind of IP or creative, creative forces. You can really make this whatever you want.
Absolutely.
6 days to go. Goal was 140,000. You guys are at $172,935 with 587 total backers. We're going to break down all the offerings, but guys, this stuff is not easy to launch something from scratch.
No, it's been a long journey.
It's been a long road.
Yeah. And I think
it's dedication, man, persistence, patience, and you know, and
I don't have any.
Constant work.
Let me ask you this. So it is what it was today, August something, 15th, 20th.
I don't know what day it is.
23rd. It's August 23rd, 2024. James, when did the germ of this idea enter your brain?
It actually started, there might be two points in time. Probably getting Tartowski's Primal. I think that might have come out around when I was just starting to think about figures like this. And then it was also Erwin Papa. There's this artist called Erwin Papa, and he creates this really like almost Mobius type artwork. And he did this Skeletor that was just insane with its proportions. And I've always been a fan of just mythic size characters. Thor is one of my absolute favorite characters, especially in the Avengers. Hulk, I love that just type of godly, you know, body and physique. And that was the inspiration. That was the impetus. And I started doing head swaps, and I put, He-Man heads on other bodies to see if things would work,
right? And
see if people, because my palette isn't everyone else's palette, and I wanted to see if things would work. But one of the first things I did was I made a Skeletor custom using a Marvel Legends beast figure, which is hairy. And I sent it to Erwin Papa, and he was like, Skeletor isn't hairy. And I was like, don't pay attention to that. Look at the size. And yeah, he vibed off of that. He was really nice to me. Now he follows us, and he loves our stuff. But that was like the first thing that made me think, like, hey, why isn't anyone doing a barbarian, a figure line that kind of that was a natural successor to the toys we had as a kid, to classics? Because for me, when I look at Masterverse and I look at the body proportions of classics and of the original figures, it doesn't seem like a progression. It seems like they've gotten smaller, and I like a bigger style. And I'm also a big fan of 1/12 scale. So at the time, there was nothing other than like Mezco Conan, I think, was mentioned. This was like 2.5 years ago. Maybe Mezco Conan had come out.
Okay,
right. And that's that. If you look at the comparison Pixel Dan did of Mezco Conan to our Cronin figure, ours dwarfs his. So there's nothing out there for people like me, and so came up with this, and here we are.
That's amazing. So for you, like the way we are in the content creation space, whether it's Yes Have Some Podcasts or Toy Anxiety, these things exist because they didn't exist before, and you go, man, I would really like this type of podcast, like YHS, that it's main Ghostbusters is our main thing. There wasn't there was some Ghostbusters podcasts that were really good, but there wasn't one from like our perspective. So like we started it. Same concept here. You see a need, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you test the waters, and the level of success that you have, that is the big thing, because what that means, that $172,000 and counting, means that your assumption that this is something missing in the toy world has been, you've proven, the proof of concept is there.
And this is during the time where we launched during HasLab, G.I. Joe HasLab.
Yep.
We launched during SDCC, which that entire week, we actually went back in our backing. We lost money. And then there's Todd McFarlane. There's pre-orders from San Diego Comic-Con. And to see this type of turnout from the community supporting us, Big Bad Toy Store getting a whole bunch of orders from the community and showing their support. We can't thank them enough as well.
Amazing partners.
Yeah, and it just it makes me wonder, like, if we had all of our stuff together when we wanted to launch earlier, shoulda, coulda, woulda, but how great the turnout could have been. But it looks like we don't have to worry about that now. It looks like the community's coming out and backing us, and hopefully we can bring to fruition what they dream these figures are like, and bring something better than they could even imagine.
Right. Well, let's start getting into the figures themselves. And Vonner, I'd love for you to speak to it. Obviously, first of all, pro Kickstarter here. The listen, Kickstarter can be a very lucrative and exciting vehicle for crowdfunding, but it's like a website, right? It's got to be enticing, and the video is great. This articulation breakdown is really great. Vonner, from a design perspective, do you want to talk about that a little bit, like what your input was, how when you came on board, some of the ideas you brought to the table?
Well, my thing is basically product managing, and guiding these guys with as much knowledge and insight and experience as I have, bringing that to the table. And also I was like, hey, just on my past experience with Kickstarters and crowdfunding campaigns, is like, we have to treat this like it's an album, like this is our single, and we got to go out and promote this really, really heavy, so be on every podcast. I had arranged for the guys to be in Toy Collector magazine, and to really just promote this in ways that in a major toy company, what we would do, like get the photographers involved, get the fan press involved, really, really drum up the buzz and everything. But, it makes it so much easier when you have really good art and a good sculpt and something really, really, really good, three-dimensional go by. And these guys put in a lot of hard sweat equity and everything. They came up with some really, really cool aesthetics, really cool designs. And then from there, we just vibed even more. Like, hey, it'd be cool to do this and do that. And you know, I'll arrange for the factory and everything, get all the cost information. And also too, you know, these guys made these engineeringly sound right from the jump. And I worked with Gentle Giant for years, and that was the key to our success. And other sculptors, Phil Ramirez and Dave Cortez, not only making the sculpt really cool, dope, and fun, but making it engineerily sound so it's functional, you know, and that the form is right and it functions correctly. And you know, just having the prototypes in hand, these guys are so fluid and smooth and with so much heft, but they're so flexible as far as articulation goes, and everything is just thought out the right way, like in the practical way. And this is why, you know, right off the bat, you know, these characters, these figures are, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, just vastly superior to, you know, what is out there now, particularly with Master Universe. You know, just, you know, the level of thought that went into making these a very cohesive but very deep line, even with the mythology. You know, like it's not just kind of pulled out of thin air. I mean, like you can really, you know, find the historical mythologies that these guys are a part of, and with some creative license, it just made it even more special. Just like Thor and the Asgardians and Hercules and all those guys is taking those liberties and making it even better. So with all of that, this has just been not only a phenomenal experience, but what we have planned later on down the line is just going to be so much fun and groundbreaking for independent creators. This independent toy movement, which I also love and also encourage and back 1000%. You know, and like this whole thing has grown, you know, and by leaps and bounds. Like, you just remember, like when we were going to the stores and buying things that we kind of forced to get with these licenses and these characters and all that. Now the cat is out the bag. We got dope sculptors, dope customizers, painters, printers, photographers, you know, just artisans all the way around. We can tap into that level of talent and create our own characters, create our own brands. And this is a dope representation of that.
Yeah. And I mean, the what's cool is like this almost has evolved from like, you know, this is like modern day fan fiction but instead of writing it down and putting it on a message board, you can create a world and then you can have the physical representation.
Right.
It's just crazy. It's really, really cool. I would be lying if I said I hadn't thought of, you know, my own stuff in the past, and because it's such a fun space, right? Like,
and also, like, I'm sorry to cut you off, but I love to implement, like, you know, I have a 3C philosophy, like connectability, collectability, and customization. And this line, like, really, really does that. And the customization part, that you can take these and go, like I keep saying, I love to see these as wrestlers and athletes, like our basic African warrior. Like, he's Earl Campbell. Can you imagine, like, throwing some shoulder pads on that guy, some soft good football jersey, and like, wow, you know what I mean? Like it would be amazing. So, like, the possibilities of where these can go, what they can become, and who they already are as far as characters. I mean, it's top notch. It's dope.
Well, now I really want a barbarian themed Bo Jackson. Now that you said that, one that throws a stone football and has a bat the size of an oak tree. I want it. But I have an engineering question. Please. Because these are, like you said, they're big, they're girthy, right? They're buff. These are very jacked figures, and the articulation is unlike anything we've seen before. Right. And we've seen, I've looked through this, I've watched the videos, I've heard you break all of this down, but you haven't really, but how much trial and error did it take to get this right?
It took a lot. This is our body 2.0, but really it's 3.0. The first designer we had, once we got into cutting articulation, we had disagreements on what could be achieved because we always had in mind to do, once we got the Mafex Dark Knight Returns, we knew that you could get great articulation out of a big body. And we actually gave it more articulation than even the Dark Knight Returns Batman has. We have on our body not only all of the articulation cuts they do, but our shoulders have greater range in them. And we have a thigh cut and a boot swivel. And we started off with our 1.0 body, which is here. It's a prototype, people. And some things weren't working out, and we got another designer in. And instead of him fixing the issues, he started from scratch and created this 2.0 body, which the proportions on are much more realistic, and the overall functionality that Vonner is talking about is factory level. It's pretty much ready to be produced at a factory. And we were excited once we started working with him because just what he's able to achieve with the prototype. This is a 3D printed prototype, and it almost moves as well as a real figure. And they're known for just like falling apart. But because his engineering ability is so sound, it's just amazing how far we'll be able to go with him. So it was a lot of trial and error until we met Penn. Penn Norris, Dalfu Yan. We just, ever since we've gotten him on board on the team, things have just been smooth sailing. We appreciate all the designers we worked with beforehand, and they got us to this point, and we learned a lot of lessons. And that's unfortunately what comes with this territory.
Sure.
It's not going to be just, hey, I want to make an action figure. Make this. It's going to be a lot of trial and error. And we've been through it for 2.5 years with a lot of designers, but here we are now, and we've got a really sound product.
Amazing.
A lot of patience and a lot of persistence.
Absolutely.
For people asking specific questions about, if things are unlocked and that stuff, well, let's get to that. I know you guys have some stuff. Maybe you want.
Yeah. What? Is that supposed to be an owl?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of owl questions.
Yes, Owl King is unlocked. Unfortunately, because I'm on this podcast, I can't update yet. But Owl King is unlocked. As soon as we get off this podcast, I will unlock him, and I'll send the information to Big Bad Toy Store, and he'll be on there too. Just bear with us. I'm excited that everyone's excited because he's one of my absolute favorites. So I feel everybody who's like, Owl King's unlocked. Where is he?
Yeah.
It's not as easy.
Fucking Owl King on the site.
It's not as easy as just like hitting a button.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I've got it set up, but unfortunately, Kickstarter isn't user friendly like it should be. So I have to do extra stuff.
We won't keep you guys it'll be there. We'll all be fine.
Yeah.
Let's
keep him on for 3 hours.
Our mission is to make James smile as much as he possibly can, because
Well, so let's lift the curtain a little bit. The cool thing before we get into the figures, you guys have been running this campaign for how has it been? 45 days, 2 months? How long was
45 days?
45 days. Yeah. As of 2 or 3 days ago, you had raised a lot of money, but it was about halfway there, and this is an all or nothing campaign. Yeah. Did you guys have levels of stress? Were you confident? Were there panic attacks? Let's walk through this.
Go ahead, Vonner.
No, I was just going to say, like, I know where James is going to go. That's why I say I want to preface it by saying, I was telling the guys every day, be patient, be persistent. We're going to be all right. Now, on the flip side,
I actually, once we hit certain numbers and I started doing the math of what I thought Big Bad Toy Store was going to do and what I thought we were going to do on the last week, I thought we were going to fund. Even 2 to 3 days, a couple weeks ago, I thought we were going to fund. But just funding isn't enough, right? Because there's so much we want to do. And once Big Bad Toy Store told us how much their order was going to be and how much they were getting in orders from the community and how they've continued to support us, it's been nothing but like a complete stress reliever, and I can finally genuinely smile.
Oh, that's awesome. That's cool.
So yeah, it's great because I've put my hopes and dreams into this. This is the culmination of a lot of hard work from both Jason and I and Vonner and everyone on the team. We've got an incredible team of talented people. Thanks to Vonner bringing in a few of those people particularly. I couldn't be happier with our team. And it's just great that all their hard work doesn't have to be put off because Kickstarter, you have to wait another 6 months to relaunch a Kickstarter. So we were learning a lot of lessons. That's why despite even if we weren't going to get funded, every day I was going to post, every day I was going to update pretty much.
No, you guys have been hustling. Like what happened was, I'll be honest, I full-time job, full-time podcaster, full-time. I have so many full-time things. There's not enough time in a day. So husband, cat owner, car owner, not to brag.
Hello.
I don't own it, but
Marta is smarter.
I make payments on a car. But I don't necessarily go out and seek out all these projects. So when I find out about them, it's more of an organic thing. And over the last couple of weeks, it's been, I know you had reached out, and then I saw you guys on Geek Dad Life, and then all of a sudden, man, these the Brutal Rum guys are everywhere. And that's what brought me to the Kickstarter page. Like, okay, I've seen it enough times organically. Let me check it out. And Vonner, that's what you were talking about. It is like dropping a record, right? Like, you know,
like constantly promoting it, constantly hyping it up, and hyping up a good product. I mean, you got to have something good, first, and they had it, and it's really about getting it out there by any means necessary.
Sure.
Kickstarters, even if it was a failure, quote unquote, they're still learning in that, right? And I was actually a part of Charlemagne Prime's Kickstarter, the Street Humans, and there was a lot of learning in that, both of what I told and try to teach Charlemagne beforehand and after, but there was a lot of trial and error in that too. And it was like, okay, instead of like being down on it and giving up, it's like, all right, let me like re-engineer. It's like being in the toy industry. You go back to the drawing board and you figure it out. You know what I mean? And that's kind of like what happened and there's not saying that there's a formula or a thing that works, but the main thing is just being persistent and sharing that vision and getting everyone on board with that vision. And that could be difficult, like getting everybody on board with your vision. And I mean, James and Jason, they had everyone on board with their vision. This is their vision. You know what I mean? And once I saw that and got on board, I knew that there was a place for fans to get on board. You know what I mean? And I've been here before. I helped the Nacelle company get their stuff together. Created stuff with Marvel, worked on WWE. So and was a part of the Odious campaign and that launch. So
this is your life. This is what you do.
This is what I do. This is really my lifeblood. Like I mean. I enjoy this. I get frustrated about this. I study it, but also too, I love the way that it's growing, growing in seriousness. Like we're now as an independent, source of creators and everything else. It's like we have to be taken serious. We're serious consumers, but we also have serious ideas that can push the consumability of this as well and the creativity of this. So I mean, this really is I'm like if this was football, I'll be Tom Landry. You know what I mean? Like,
Nice.
So like I study this up and down, left and right, man, and it's so great for this to happen.
So one thing before we start, we're gonna talk about the figures now. I'm really impressed with the price point. And the fact that you guys were able to get, these are not $75, $80 figures, which they very well could be, right? Like in this scale, this size, with this amount of accessories, like we these could be very expensive. These are affordable. I was looking at all the tiers. The all-in package is pretty affordable. If you're a serious toy collector, if you're into this scale and these types of figures, it's kind of a no-brainer. So let's maybe start going through the figures, and you can get as detailed as you want. I really love this first one, this Killian the Red, but let's
our newest edition. Yeah.
So yeah, I'll just kind of scroll through, and you stop me when you want to talk about something specifically or highlight something. And Ryan, you start.
Yeah,
are you good?
I actually want to highlight something.
You do it. You highlight something.
If there's one thing that really caught my eye with this line more than any other toy line that's out there, it's the diversity that's in this line.
Thank you.
And if there's one thing that I'm loving to see more and more just in our pop culture in general, is that we're starting to really get that.
Yeah.
I mean, we like when we were kids, we had a bit of that with G.I. Joe.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
But otherwise than that, it was usually just a group of white dudes, and then and then one other.
Yep.
Now,
I've been fortunate enough to work with on WWE, with the WWE team, and that line is the most diverse, ethnically diverse line on the market today.
Yeah.
Right.
And when I saw this, that's immediately what I thought of, and it wasn't just like, oh, that's the black character or anything. Like it was just the sheer variety. And that is, to me, that's fun. Like that's Marvel. That's why we show up, because we can see ourselves in that, or we can recognize other individuals in that. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Well, it's just when I look outside, that's what I see.
That's what you see.
Oh. No, Ryan, you see moose.
There's
plural of moose and snow.
Yeah,
Sasquatches.
Yeah, that's right.
When I was thinking of the characters, I'm a man of diversity. My mom is black, my dad's white. I look Puerto Rican. I grew up in Newark, New Jersey, which is a melting pot. I live in Atlanta, which is a melting pot. Right. It wasn't a purposeful thing like, oh, I need a black character. Oh, I need a white character. I was just like, man, what would be cool? I like this. I like that. I love Ogun. I love Native Americans. I love Asian culture. I love Indian culture. I'm good friends. I was best man at a Gujarati Toma wedding. So like
great food too.
Listen, the best food. Other than my grandma's soul food.
I'm so hungry. I'm so hungry, guys. I'm so hungry. All right, keep going.
Anyway, you haven't had good Indian food, so you had a grandma's biryani at 8:00 in the morning after you went out partying all night.
That sounds amazing.
That's too early. Yeah, but actually, Craig, I could take you over there. Sure, you live in Atlanta.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go tomorrow.
But yeah, so I was just thinking of cool characters, and this is what I came up with. I'm not trying to push an agenda. This is just naturally,
how can it be an agenda when that's just what the world is? First off, right?
Yeah.
And then two, I think there's one thing, just being Canadian, there's a very strong First Nations culture up here. I know there's down in the States as well. So to see the chief, right? Yeah. It was like, to me, I was always like, man, that's what He-Man needs.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
And I always had the idea, because I don't know if they have, like, if the tribes down there have it, there's like the ring dancers, and they dance with all the loops and stuff. They make like, this is an eagle, and like this is like a buffalo and stuff like that. And I always thought, man, someone should just have rings. And then they actually like transform into that mystical being. Man,
this is your first experience with Ryan. By the end of this show, he is going to pitch you guys wave 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah, that's right.
I just like hearing him talk. His voice
focus group, man. He's living focus group.
That's why there's an Instagram account called the Ryan Dole Fan Club.
I've heard about that.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Well, I watch Geek Dad Life, so I know.
Yeah.
Right. That's where I'm from. Yeah. That's
where I'm from.
But no, I love this. I love seeing this, and I love seeing all the representation, because no matter what's happening out on the internet sphere and whatever,
I don't know what you're talking about.
Right? But the
nice calm place.
Right, exactly. But that really matters. Like, and I've seen the work, like, I'm gonna toot my own horn here, working on Spider-Verse movies.
Hey,
Okay, here we go. Here we go.
Like, no, but you hear it, you see it, you hear it from people, like how they feel when they connect with it.
Right.
So
it's a wonderful thing when you see a character on screen and you feel a connection deeper than you normally would.
Right.
I can list a whole bunch of characters that I've like G.I. Joe Tunnel Rat was always I just found out that was based on Larry Hama, but I always thought that was me when I was a kid. I was like, oh, this guy looks like me. I had hair back then,
it's cool. Like, I've been hit up by a lot of people who just love the representation, and that's just, it was such a natural thing, for them to reach out and be like, hey man, like, I've always wanted the Native American, I always wanted the African, I always wanted I always wanted this type of character for my Conan. Like, I've heard all of that so far, man, and that really, like, it says that the wavelength is there, that we got the right wavelength and we're sending the right signals, and in turn, not only we're delivering that, but the reciprocation that is happening now. And that's the vibe, that's the vibe that we want to have, because that's the staying power. You know what I mean?
And Vaughn, you mentioned working with on the WWE brand and how diverse it is, and that is actually a representation too of how diverse just the WWE has become in modern times. It wasn't like that in the 80s and 90s. There was some of it, but now when you go down the toy aisle, I mean, we make jokes at McFarlane's expense for not making female figures all the time, but if you go down the Mattel aisle, every WWE superstar got to stay within the parameters of the
different body shapes, and in different body shapes,
different levels of popularity, new people, veterans, women, men, and everything, different backgrounds. And that, so that's out there in the toy world. And I think most collectors, like, they want great storytelling. They want, like, to me, the most exciting thing about this is like getting in on the ground floor of a new line, because we all know if you wait 2 or 3 waves and you look backwards, it gets really expensive really quickly. Although that's what I tend to do. But so this stuff is really, really cool. I wanted to highlight too, these art renders are awesome.
That's
Ken Coleman
over in Ireland.
Yeah, he's Irishman. Thanks to Vonner, we got him on our team. I was a big fan of his artwork, and then I just happened to tell Vonner, like, man, we need someone like him. And Vonner was like, we can get him. And and he's been just like pumping out artwork, just like it's so ridiculous. And we love what he does. He kind of gives us our Ken Coleman style artwork, but it harkens to a little bit of Frazetta, a little bit of that style, and that's what we love. A little bit of
captures a mood. It captures that mood, and again, like
Earl Norm too.
For us, obviously, we're fans of Master Universe, but it's like this is how we grew up and became more sophisticated in our thoughts and our imagination. This is the evolution of that, you know what I mean? And to the point where, like, man, like, they just couldn't do this. You know what I mean? They would have to do it in a different way, where it's more like they got to think about eternity and they gotta be sensitive to all of that. But it's like, what these guys are doing is just touching on like the head. It's just hitting it. I mean, it's just like this time. This is the Earl Campbell custom that I'm talking about. Like, imagine put in an old school Houston Oilers kind of uniform on that, or like that's your.
He's really.
I
hope the NFL is watching right now.
Someone's got it right.
We got to get a license.
Right.
So let me. When you guys were from the business side of things, there's different models for this, right? There's the Kickstarter all or nothing model. There's the pre-order model. There's the produce everything and sell it in stock model, which is not realistic by any means because of what's that thing? Oh yeah, money, inventory, all that stuff. What and Vonner, you were talking earlier, like not every Kickstarter is successful. Like there's lessons learned along the way. What about the Kickstarter model made it right?
I'll tell you what made it right for us. I don't have any money, so
Love that.
we had to
That
go
is
the kick.
That is so honest.
Yeah,
I love that.
We have to have the money to make the molds to also fulfill the minimum order quantity. Also, Kickstarter allows you to see first and foremost if there's a market for your product. You can create a product, but if no one buys it, you don't have a business. So this allows us to not only see if we have a market, immediately reach our market and sell our product, and also get funding for our business to create the product all in one. Kickstarter, it has its faults, but for an independent toy company, for someone starting off without any money other than for development, for research and development, this is a great avenue, because the molds are very expensive to create these things.
Two comments on that. First of all, the democratization of being able to start a company and fund it, passionate fan base, like that is, it's commonplace now. People are much more educated about crowdfunding and Kickstarters, but it truly is maybe the most innovative and impactful, small business advancement in the last 20 years, right?
I think 3D printers.
Yep.
I think 3D printers help bridge that gap even more because it allows for that interim between professional and a test model. And before, you would need to, go to the factory and get a test model from them. Now we can print out and make sure how everything works and show that we have a sound engineered product like we have here. So we can go to the factory and see that everything works. There might be a little things that we change for the mold, but for the most part, it works.
Oh, and I don't think people, I mean, Ryan, like we've talked about this. I think people understand that molding, like creating the mold and the tooling is expensive. I don't think I think a lot of collectors do. I don't think the average everyday casual toy collector has any clue how expensive it is. It is shockingly expensive.
Yeah. And I think they also don't understand the actual price range of it too. But that's all kind of a secret as well.
That's always been the case.
Of course.
I mean, that's always been the case. I mean, I can't tell you how many conversations I've had with collectors and consumers about, hey, back in my day, Marvel Legends was $9.99. Now it's blah blah blah. You know what I mean? You have to explain that, and also too, man, the license, you got to pay for that. Those royalty rates. I mean,
gotta pay. Gotta pay. And they used to make a lot more toys. I mean, if you think about, I was talking about this. I did a podcast last night with Jay and Dan Larson, talking about the Kenner Beetlejuice line.
Oh, Dan, that's my man. The knowledge is crazy.
I'm listening to the y'all's podcast. I'm working my way through their podcast now.
Yeah, it's really good. But I mean, back in I was doing research for a project that I've been working on that's Ghostbusters related. And
does that make you feel good?
It really does. It really does. But I mean, in the late 80s, I mean, Kenner was putting out 500,000 to 1 million toys a quarter for one brand. Like the scale, the amount, and, it's not just inflation. It's not just materials cost more now. It's the changing dynamic of the industry.
It really is. The economy was different. And also, I mean, honestly, a lot of the geopolitical climate that comes into play too. It was totally different back then. Now, like, China isn't just the factory, they're a major power. So with that, they control, the prices. They can have people over a barrel now. You know what I'm saying? So things are a little bit different now as opposed to then. But at the same time, like, what's happening now is, I don't want to give away too many of my secrets, but it's about relationships. It's about relationships. And if you can have those good relationships, with your factory partners, with everyone else, man, that's when the magic can happen. It's like, okay, like let's see what we can do to kind of work the numbers a little bit, and hey, let's involve this, and
see if we can make it make sense. Yeah,
right. Let's make a deal. Like, let's talk.
There is I was talking to a buddy of mine who knows nothing about like this space, like toys and collecting, but he's really into like premium denim. And he was telling me like the way it works with like the factories and everything's so secret. And I was just like, oh, it's all this. It's literally the same. Yep. It's just jeans, not toys. So, but anyway, so I wanted to break down because we'll put this on audio too. So I want to make sure our audio listeners.
Yeah. Oh, he's awesome.
I can't see any of the chat.
Davey Sockrocker is one of our favorites. He's very opinionated, very funny, a little bit of a ball buster, but also very knowledgeable and passionate about toys. So, we can highlight some of.
We can highlight some of it.
Some of those guys.
A Bombada custom, yeah. Bombada.
That's another reason why I love being in the independent space, because there was so many things that I couldn't say under the Hasbro or Mattel thumb.
Oh yeah.
I bet.
I was like, I love these motherfuckers when they come with this stuff.
Okay, let's talk about the offerings here. So I'm just gonna scroll through them and kind of read them off. You can highlight anything that you want to. So by the way, as we go, I even though it's not my Kickstarter, the thrill of reloading the page to see where it's at is very
absolutely exciting. Oh man, try being us.
So we're at $173,000.
Yeah, we passed
$17.
Thank you so much, guys.
Which is
we're close to another unlock.
All right, so should we start with the basic stuff here, or you want to start with the big stuff? All right, so we'll just go through some of the rewards. What I like about this too, people can pick and choose. They could get a couple figures, they could get all of them, they could get one. Yeah. It allows people to because I'm not a customizer. I'm never going to be a customizer. That's never going to be. I tried to customize WWF Jax figures in 8th grade, and I just cut myself repeatedly with an X-Acto knife, and I was like, "This is not my world."
Try again.
Not my world.
But one thing I'd like to say before you start is with Kickstarter, choose the biggest thing, the most all-encompassing package that we offer first, and then you can go into add-ons and then add on the little stuff that might not be included in that package. Or the main figure that you want. If you want just 2 characters, choose one, and then the second one will be in the add-ons. So unfortunately, Kickstarter doesn't have like a shopping cart where you can just choose right up front this, and this. You got to choose one thing, and then you can add on all. So I have to do it twice, and it's it's not it's a little counterintuitive. So
Gotcha. We did, Ryan, I don't know if we said this earlier, but I think we should clarify. These are 1/12 scale, little under 7 inches.
If you have Marvel Legends Hercules or G.I. Joe Classified Sergeant Slaughter or a Mythic Legions, their initial offering figure, it's the same height, 6.75 inches.
Cool. Very cool. All right. So you've got the Bear Base Barbarian.
Yeah. And you get to choose a skin color in the backer kit. The more characters we have unlocked, the more skin colors you'll be able to choose from. So now that Khan is unlocked and Killian is an offering, we now have a total of 5 or 6 skin colors. And it looks like we're about to get Owl King is unlocked too. So, that's just going to add more skin colors that you can choose from for the Bear Base Barbarian.
Amazing.
Look at that swinging pose, though. I mean, look at that. Like,
so good.
That is just human. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I love about this line, because the subtle poses, they're human. They're not like stiff or static or, you're trying to force it.
This hard to make it look bad.
And it's beautiful. It's just beautiful.
Hey,
I love it.
I could do it.
Yes.
If anybody can make it look bad, it would be me. I'm so bad at posing figures. It is hey, that's an art form in itself. But no, these are incredible. These are amazing.
You know what? Yeah, bro, you're absolutely right. It is an art form, and that was something I'll always push because that helps drive the product. It helps sell it in. I mean, it helps push that imagination, that story. You know what I mean? And if you can't get those things and those cool signature poses,
Yeah.
I mean, you know, like why even do this? So they've
I will
taken
say
that
this.
to the
Listen,
extreme.
I will advocate for any toy or toy company that I like. I have no allegiance to anybody. I have been collecting the Jada Street Fighter figures.
Oh,
They're really easy to pose.
yeah. There's so much fun.
They're so awesome. So shout out to them.
Shout
Okay.
out to Jada Toys. I am a big fan of them. I'm always singing their praises. So
Yeah.
they're probably like, oh God, would this guy stop talking about us?
No,
Yeah.
I think they like it. Okay, we have the African warrior barbarian.
Yep.
As well, which we saw a little bit earlier. Native American warrior barbarians. So you have these like kind of like your baseline barbarians with the different
make whoever character you want. If you want to make a Warpath from X-Men or X-Force with Native American, if you want to make Tarzan with the European barbarian warrior, if you want to make Luke Cage with hair, with our
Isaiah Bradley, Truth Cat. Come on.
Nice.
deep cuts, deep references.
Yep, you can do it. And then we get into our main characters. Ogun,
so we have our
yeah,
Ogun, the Master of Iron. This is a beautiful looking figure. And
really
again,
the god of iron.
Check out this art. These renders are amazing.
That's beautiful.
The artwork's like such an added value. Really, really cool.
Yeah, that was 1/6 shooter, you know, and again, like you know, I will have to go through so many hoops to get a shot like that, you know, approved and everything, and he just nailed it, and it really defines what this line is all about.
Crowman,
He gets around. He gets around. There's a reason. He's
Crowman, the beguiled barbarian figure. And you guys go to the. I probably should have done this earlier. You all can find this very easily by searching Brutal Realm.
Or just Google. Type in bit.ly/getbrutal. bit.ly/getbrutal. Thanks to Brick Something for making that for us. I think we also have bit.ly/let's-get-brutal as well.
Sweet.
So just to make it easier, I don't know if anyone's familiar with bit.ly. I wasn't until Brick Something told me about it. So it's just an easy way to a quick link to our Kickstarter, bit.ly/getbrutal. Bam.
Sweet. And what I was gonna say is you go to the Kickstarter and you can, you know, each one you have a complete breakdown of what the figure is, what accessories, additional, you know, hands, weapons, etc. Very, very cool. Okay, we'll keep scrolling here. Now, can you talk? So this is like the Cronin, the future barbarian king figure. What is that? A mainline figure?
Unfortunately, when I was creating the Kickstarter, we didn't have full renders yet.
Okay, gotcha.
So some of the rewards, the pictures are a little outdated, and with Kickstarter, if I was to take that down and put everyone would be confused because it still shows the ones that are old that I've taken off.
Okay,
and I didn't want to do that anymore because I was updating it. But so now just look at the name and then look at the art on the campaign, and it's the same figure.
Perfect.
So it's going to be painted. It's going to look just like the render does when you scroll down on the campaign page. It's going to look just like that.
Chief Motto.
I should have just done the artwork instead.
No, it's great. I mean, it's awesome. I wanted to go to the. Was he down here? The bigger version.
Mm-hmm. The story matches the campaign page matches the pledges in a way. So
I gotcha. Awesome stuff. These are really cool. Okay, and then the Great Khan.
Yep.
You guys are really
available.
So this one just unlocked.
Yep.
Yes.
Nice. And then the Killian figure we talked about earlier.
Yep. We just added him this
week.
week.
Very cool. and then you start getting into the packages, right? So you can get various combinations if you just want the warriors, or if you want like this is a perfect one for me, the all-in first wave characters, right? But actually I need the ones that unlocked as well. So
so it's our three main characters, Ogun, Cronin, and Croman. Just a great way to get into the line with our three base characters and feel like you're really, contributing to the Kickstarter. All in might have been a bad choice for wordage on that.
No, all in's cool. That's a cool thing.
Yeah,
that's fine. The Heroes Unite bundle, again, 7 premium detailed action figures for $238. Listen, I don't want to. Listen, there's been some stress in our world lately when it comes to.
Why is that? Is that to have anything to do with Mondo?
I don't.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Well, hey, we'll talk. We'll there's actually I can't say anything. I don't know anything. That's what.
Absolutely.
I don't know a damn.
I'm looking forward to Mondo's He-Man characters. That's all I have to say.
Did you see the tease they dropped today?
Yeah.
No. I am in trouble.
What did they drop?
Poison Ivy tease.
Oh, the Batman animated series.
Oh.
Well, the Mondo 2000X figures, 1/12 scale should be pretty
looking
great.
forward to that. Yeah.
Okay.
Speaking of other guys taking our money,
won't have our level of articulation. Hey, Kyle, what's up, Kyle?
Kyle's here too.
Do you guys know I emailed Kyle 3 times today before I got his last name right?
Oh man. You should know. You're closer to him than we are. We just became friends with him. He's a very, very, very awesome supporter.
Just an
and a great toy designer.
Yeah,
he's amazing.
Kyle's awesome.
Despite what I might have said on other podcasts when we first.
Oh,
I'm just kidding. No, I didn't say anything bad.
Him and Geek Dad Jay used to be bitter rivals, and now they're basically best friends.
How can you hate Kyle Wadiga? He's an awesome guy.
He's awesome.
Jay's the problem. We know this.
He's problematic. It's all those guys in North Carolina. No, Jay's the best. Heroes Unite bundle. So as I'm reading these off, you guys can go figure out which bundle you want, and it goes up from there. Now, you've mentioned Big Bad Toy Store a couple times. Obviously, that is another route people can go, right? If they want to pre-order, maybe not have to commit financially yet. That is, and I think sometimes people are like, oh, well, am I not supporting the campaign if I go through Big Bad Toy Store? But the truth is they make the purchase order from you. So
if you look at the fact that we're funded right now and have hit all these tiers, Big Bad Toy Store ordering from them definitely supports us. We do get a little bit more money from Kickstarter. But if you don't want to spend the money right now, we are very, very happy with you ordering from Big Bad Toy Store. They are a great partner, and we welcome
absolutely
any way you choose. Kickstarter, Big Bad Toy Store, it all comes to us. It's a great deal either way. So.
Big Bad Toy Store is the new TRU. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It really is. It really is.
They got a great layaway program. I mean, I don't know about y'all, but I was poor, and my mom had to lay away all my toys. So,
oh man, I heard that in so long. My mom lived by the layaway, man. That was her method. That was her method of payment.
Absolutely.
The
layaway. We would go down the toy aisle in the summer, and I would pick out the toys that I wanted for Christmas. This is why I never believed in Santa Claus. Because my mom was like, no, I work my ass off to pay for these toys. So you need to know that there is no Santa Claus. But
all right.
Whoa. Confirmed.
And I would get beat up in school because I'm like, there's no Santa Claus.
There's no Santa Claus. I just had to pick out all my Ninja Turtles figures for this Christmas.
And now, James, you're Santa Claus, baby.
Now you are Santa Claus.
Yeah. I got the beard.
So, so we're at the hour mark. I want to be respectful of everybody's time. Super stoked that so many people are hanging out on a Friday night. If you guys have questions, go ahead and get them in the chat. We'll do a little Q&A maybe. Obviously, you guys will be able, whatever you can speak to. I know what's going to happen. Everybody, because they're all toy collectors and they all think like me, everyone's going to ask what's next, right? They're going to say, what does future state look like? Is there beasts? Is there play sets?
Well, someone's asking right now if there's a female. If you could go back to our page and make sure everyone knows that Athena is our female figure. She is what everyone wants. And once you see her, you'll see why. And as soon as possible, I'm going to update the Kickstarter. She's all the way at the bottom.
Okay.
And as soon as,
this guy rules, by the way.
Yeah. I guess who I modeled him out. He looked like Dole right there.
That's Ryan Dole.
That's Ryan Dole.
Like in this
That's me.
That's literally you.
That's him. That's literally his face.
That's so funny. This guy rules too.
Yeah, I want General Grimskull to be funded as soon as possible. He's a person. He's a premium character because he comes with a cloth goods cape with a wire in his cape all throughout it. So you're going to get all types of articulation in the cape.
I'm seeing different inspirations in this character. It's just
what?
Very, very cool.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Ryan, we need that.
We do need it. Yeah. But no, I want to. No, let's get down to Athena. Let's talk about the women here because this is like already in my head. I'm like, Jade Cargill is going to be in Wave 2. And for anyone who knows,
I have no idea who that is.
Yeah, Jade Cargill. She is jacked. She is one of the WWE superstars, and she is. I don't even. She's a goddess. I don't even know how else to put it.
Speaking of goddesses, that's what Athena is. She's anyone who knows their Greek history or mythology. She's the goddess of war, and we thought, what better way to honor her by giving her this very godlike body. And you see the 2D art by our amazing artist Dasar, and her helmet is going to be hinged. Cool. It's going to add a lot of playability with that. She comes with a wonderful sword and her Medusa shield, which she's known for. And there's a bit of an owl motif to her design because she's also known for that being her like animal. And if you scroll down past the 2D art, the next picture right there, that is actually the render of her body by our designer who did our body, the 2.0 body. And I did some Photoshop and put the 2D art on top so you all could get a better idea of what she'll look like. We're working on the head sculpt right now. We're working on articulation. She's a lot farther along than what she appears to be here. And hopefully people are excited. I'm also going to update the Kickstarter and show that we're going to have, just like the male barbarian warriors, female barbarian warrior army builders. So we're going to have an African, a Asian, and a Native American. So that'll be available for people. So once she gets unlocked, they're unlocked as well because the tooling for the barbarian warrior figures is much less than for the main character. So hopefully people are excited. It's going to be like a 2-for-1. It's going to be awesome.
Who's Grim Spectre in the chat?
That's our. I'm sorry. Have I been so rude as to not?
Well, because he's been answering, or whoever it is has been answering.
That is our co-creator, Jason Soul.
Hi, Jason.
Sorry. Yes, he unfortunately couldn't join us tonight, but he is doing a phenomenal job answering all the questions.
If she doesn't fund, we're looking at 6 months from now for the Brutal Babes. Can you call it Brutal Babes? Because that kind of rules. I'm just putting it out there.
I kind of feel like Jason's is celebrating. Like he's celebrating.
He's drunk right now.
He's like, I'm not getting on the show. I'm hanging out in the chat.
Yeah, popping bottles. I think him and his wife are popping bottles.
I hope so.
Well, this is inspiring stuff. This is successful. So now, is this the final unlock possible for this?
No, I need to because we were just a few days ago, so a little ways away from getting funded.
Right.
I've been. I didn't want to overload the campaign with all these characters and people. Why isn't this gonna ever? This is never going to be unlocked. So now that it's all a reality, I'm going to update the Kickstarter. I'm going to make Owl King available for everybody. I'm going to show the female barbarians. I'm going to give some sort of representation of them. It might not be totally accurate to what we're going to finally offer. We also have Lion Lord, which is if you can guess an homage to another character, which we actually do have pretty fleshed out. If you go to our Instagram, you can see our
Lion
primal
Lord.
body. Yes, Lion Lord.
Wonder
If
who
you go to
that
our
could be.
Instagram, you can see what he will pretty much look like. We have the head sculpts done. We've got
Sweet.
his accessories done. We just need to retrofit the new body with fur, so it better and captures what the character
I'm
we're
reading
trying
these
to.
comments like
We're talking Kroll over here. Let's go.
That's so good.
Simba.
All right, so Simba. I've been waiting for Lion King Warrior figures. I just have. Oh wait, that kind of exists with Aiden.
I'm sorry,
Okay.
but Scar will be dope.
Yeah, Scar would be-
Will be so dope as
Yeah, Vonner's
Okay.
talking to you, Brick, when he says that.
So listen, people were asking about like this is all right. A lot of the times Ryan and I we have to set expectations as master facilitators and podcasters.
That you are.
There's a few right self-assessed on that one. There's 6 days left in this campaign. 6 days in the world of toys, that's forever. This is going to go further. It's gone up a lot today. In the last 2 days, it's gone up a lot.
I mean, if we hit 200K, wow, and above I mean, man, this is all cream. This is the cream on the top, and this really allows us to do it. But I think more so than anything else, man, this is validation. It really is validating for us as a community. As James, as Jason, as new entrepreneurs, new toy makers. Like this is like, supreme validation that we can do this, and that, we can do it right and we can have fun and we can cater to our community. We can make a little bit of paper, we can plan ahead so it's not a one-trick pony. There's like so many things we can do. And but more so than anything else, this is just very, very validating. So thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Very, very cool.
And once we get Athena unlocked, because everyone wants her, that's going to add so much more onto the
right. There's toy
total.
collectors standing there with their arms crossed going, I'm not backing anything until Athena's available.
There literally are. There literally are.
Oh, I know. I can see them now.
Yeah. And
Kyle wants to know, Kyle, who's your favorite figure in the line and why is it Crowman?
I know why it's Kyle's favorite, because Kyle's so metal. That's definitely his favorite.
He really
I would guess that General Grimskull might be his second favorite because he's kind of rock and roll too.
Well, General Grimskull, I can already hear Glory Hammer playing in the background.
Woo!
I don't know that song, but Glory Hammer.
That's a band. That is a band.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
They are like they did a whole album about Chaos Wizards in the future of 1992.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
the most heavy metal I get is Tool. So
that's pretty heavy.
That was the best concert. That was Jesse Falcon took me to see Tool in Madison Square Garden years ago.
Oh, wow.
I thought it was a gift. He's still harping on me about paying him back these Tool tickets.
That's where. How close were you? That I had tickets to their birthday in Los Angeles.
Bro, Fantomas opened up for them.
Oh,
and
wow.
that was the best, man. I don't know if you guys know Fantomas, but they do like death metal versions of like movie soundtracks and all that stuff.
That's cool.
Wow.
There needs to be a secret tier to pay those tickets back to Jesse Falcon.
Nah, man. When we're all dead and gone, Jesse's going to chase me in the afterlife, man, in the netherworld. Like, I want my tool ticket money.
There needs to be a figure based on him as like a.
You know who's better than all of these bands we've talked about?
Go on.
Can you see?
Prince? Yeah.
Let's go.
You have a Prince.
Nice. That's dedication.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's cool.
Prince is my favorite artist of all time. You would probably guess.
I mean,
we got some Fantomas fans up in here too. Yeah.
Cool.
That's what's up.
I really wish he would get his own basketball figure.
Who, Prince?
Yeah, Prince.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Comes with pancakes and like
blouses, man. He was a great basketball player in junior high. And he continued to be great. So
Mr. Bungle. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going on with the comments.
So let's
let's wrap. let's concentrate here. Let's focus,
Guys,
Bonner.
this
God,
isn't.
you're having too much fun.
I do have a Prince podcast. We could talk about it over there.
You're lying.
Ooh,
Don't
nice.
get me
Yeah.
started.
Yeah. It's
Paisley
called
Pod-
the
Paisley Pod.
the forecast is purple rain.
PaisleyParkPod.com. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, is that
No,
what
I
it is?
made that up.
Bruh, that's not funny.
Sorry. I do love
I got all
Prince.
excited.
I know. I'm sorry. I don't know. I would not. I do love Prince, but I'm not podcast worthy for me. I'm sure there's one.
I was
out
about to say.
Okay, so I'm gonna put the link in one more time. I'm sure a lot of the people here have already backed it, but one great thing about what we do here is there's going to be a lot of people who watch this after the fact. They're going to see it tomorrow, the next day. What I would love to do is once you guys are wrapped up, you take a deep breath, you start getting production going, come back on in a couple months and update us on the progress,
Oh,
how things are
absolutely.
going. You
Yeah.
know, I'm sure you're going to be mapping out, you know.
We're gonna be at Toylanta.
Sweet. I will
Are
be
you
there.
gonna- yeah, we're gonna be at
100%.
Toylanta. Brett has been very kind to roll out the red carpet for us and help us set up a pretty awesome display we're working out.
Oh,
We're gonna
nice.
have Ken there. We're gonna try and bring Vonner out. Pretty sure we're gonna be able to. I just looked at the price of the tickets from San Diego, so should be able to.
Yeah, it's
But,
far enough in advance. It's not so
yeah.
bad.
And we're hopefully going to have painted prototypes there for people to take a look at, and some cool artwork, and who knows what else we'll have. So it's very exciting. It's very exciting.
That's cool.
And everyone who wants to talk about Prince being the greatest artist of all time is
Right.
more than welcome to. So absolutely.
Got Ryan, take over. I got to check on something. I'll be back in 2 seconds.
Oh, I wasn't sure if we were wrapping up or what.
We are in
Okay.
about 2 minutes. I got to check on something.
Uh-oh. He lives in
Oh,
Atlanta.
That
He
is.
lives
Yeah,
in
he lives
Atlanta.
in-
Everyone
his-
pray right
his-
now.
Yeah, his house does have bullet holes.
I
So-
get, bruh, you want to talk about? If you look on ATL Scoop, they literally had this guy being chased by police, ran right past my door on his scooter.
On his scooter?
Yeah,
Man.
Craig probably knows the actual video I'm talking about.
Oh, that
It just-
sounds like LA.
Yeah, and it was my neighbor's cousin, and he didn't do anything wrong. He was just scared and was running, and they released him the next day.
Oh.
Well, I mean, if I was in the States and the cops were coming after me, I would be scared too.
I'm not gonna touch that subject.
That's okay. Yeah, that's. I
was
can
it?
say it. I'm Canadian.
What was the question?
I was saying I was worried about you because you live in Atlanta, and he told me how you have bullet holes, and I was like, bro, like I live in the SWATs. And Craig, do you follow ATL Scoop?
Yeah, of course.
Did you see the video of the kid running and he?
Oh
got
yeah,
on a
you showed
scooter?
me that. Yeah.
That's. Oh yeah, I did show you that. Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we.
Uh-oh.
Oh, it's going down. It's Friday.
It is Friday.
Don't get Bonner started.
Right.
Well, listen, guys, this has been really incredible. I want to
Yeah.
give you guys each the final word here. Vonner's honor to meet you. Obviously,
Thank you so
this
much.
is
Hey,
really
it's an honor. It's an honor to be here. Thank you so much. Thank you to all the fans, everyone in the chat. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
absolutely, and we'll definitely have you guys back. And James, we'll have to get some lunch or something. Want to hear?
Yeah,
Want to hear the dirty details? What's going on in the background of this thing? This is so inspiring to me. I want to know.
Yeah, when Toylanta comes, we're definitely. I'm going to take the team out to dinner. Probably at one of my old jobs, and well, you're definitely invited, sir. Definitely.
Davey Sock Rocker, I absolutely, you're my man. Davey Sock Rocker,
Man,
you-
I think they became best friends.
You my man. You my road dog from here on out, brother.
So good. That's so good.
I want to find a soul friend in the chat. I should have been following.
No, Davey's everybody's friend. He's Davey's kind. He sent us cool stuff, and he's always there on Tuesday nights. And just really.
I'm
really
gonna
cool.
claim Kyle Wadiga as my.
Kyle's
best
gonna be
friend.
your guy, and then
Absolutely.
Ryan and I will be each other's guys.
He's a
Yeah.
very.
So everybody, 6 days left. Brutal Realm. Unlock
Let's
the
go.
new tiers on the hour. It seems like.
Yeah, we just shot up again, 174 now.
Woo!
Let's go. Let's
Let's
go.
go. Let's go.
For Ryan Dole, my name is Craig Goldberg. Thank you guys so much for joining. I'm gonna do a hard stop, no outro music. I just gotta stop this thing. Bye everybody. Have a good night.
Peace out.
Yeah.
Peace.